Nope, wrong page. I'm like, that's not what I planned to say today. Who was Mary? She was really nobody of importance. She was only referred to, or she was referred to at first, just as Joseph's fiancée. And then we got her name. She was no one. And according to society or the world, she was no one. She didn't have a father's name. She didn't have a family. It was all about Joseph and, his fiancée. But God had seen this nobody. God had regards for her. To God, she was somebody. First and foremost, she's a child of God, made in the image of God. And even more than that she was being given a special job. But think about it for a moment. Would someone be able to get from how can this be to nothing is impossible with God without having some trust in God, some regards for God already? Getting pregnant was the most dangerous thing that could happen to a woman at the time that Mary lived. The maternal mortality rate was high. And only until recently has that mortality rate gone down. And in many parts of the world, it is just as bad now as it was then. But to be 13, she was probably about 13, to be 13, unmarried, and pregnant, now that was really dangerous. I mean, she could be taken out and stoned. She could be killed for that. She could be ostracized. She could be left with no resources, human or physical resources. When we hear her response, "Here I am, the servant of the Lord, let it be with me according to your word," we might say how brave she was, how trusting in God. It also could be that she was 13 and she had absolutely no idea what she was getting into. That's a reality. In that moment, Mary speaks. But her body also speaks. And her body speaks for a much longer period of time than just a moment with an angel. In a week or a month, Mary may have changed her mind and thought, I really don't want to do this. But her body just kept on going. Her body kept speaking as her body changed and as the child grew inside of her. She might have lost faith. She might have lost confidence. She might have been terribly afraid, but her body just kept on going, keeping the faith. In this year of COVID-19 and an economic crisis, COVID-19 and racial unrest, COVID-19 and one heck of an election, we might feel like God has no regard for us to be putting us through all of this. We might feel, who are we? We're nobody. Are we more than Mary was at the time? A 13-year-old nobody. And we might feel like we have no importance in any way, just kind of lost in the midst of the craziness going on in the world. Or maybe we might just feel that we can't deal with anything else. We've just had too much. And maybe going from how can this be to nothing is impossible with God is just, well, impossible at this moment in our lives together. If any of that is you, then I say to you this morning, just lean into Mary. Let Mary speak for you. Here I am. Let her speak the words that you can't speak right now. And you know what? That's okay. Because that's part of what this story is about for us. She is a witness to us, and she can carry us when we can't carry ourselves. This nobody, this little girl with no real identity that the world or society thought was important. This child was bearing the child of God. And in so doing, it turned her life upside down. And that child, the one who came to turn the world upside down, we can't even imagine. So on this fourth Sunday of Advent, let Mary take the burden for you this year, so you can rest, so you can recover, so you can just survive. Keeping the faith in hard times is, well, simply put, hard. But just like Mary and her body, our bodies keep going too. One heartbeat after another heartbeat. One breath after another breath. So if we can't speak, let our bodies speak of the miracle that is us, this beautiful creation that we are in our bodies, made in the image of God. Let our bodies keep the faith. And tomorrow is the shortest day of the year, people. It's like, I'm hanging on just to get past so we start getting a little more light. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up and you peel yourself out of bed one more time, just let your body say, "Here I am, the servant of the Lord." Amen.